Don't touch that dial now. We're just getting started.
So, Xbox made a boo-boo again today. You guys know it. We all know it. Microsoft is not very good at making good decisions. Even when you think they're actually going to do something good, they can't help but fuck up. And what happened today? We woke up this morning. You've probably seen this. This is actually on the actual Xbox website. You can find this, but we'll go ahead and read this off. As of May 1st, we have adjusted recommended retailer pricing for our consoles and controllers worldwide. We also expect to adjust pricing of some of our new first-party titles, first-party games starting this holiday. It's $79.99, which, by the way, thanks Nintendo, you did that. That's started with PlayStation and Take-Two with their $70 games, and kind of went up from there. So let's keep on going here. Those titles purchased on the Xbox Store have the benefit of Xbox Play Anywhere, allowing players to buy once and play on console, PC at no additional cost. We understand that these changes are challenging and they were made with careful consideration. No, it wasn't. It wasn't made to look after the consumer. You're not saying anything except for corporate fucking PR garbage that's nonsensical. The only thing you wanted was money from people because you're fucking greedy. We understand that these changes are challenging, and we were made with careful consideration given market conditions and the rising cost of development. Looking ahead, we continue focusing on more ways to play more games across any screen, ensuring value for the players. Now, we'll go ahead and say this. Yes, they do offer the thing where you can play anywhere, which is a nice feature, and you don't really have to own an Xbox, but I mean, there's still some games that are tied directly to the Xbox console. So until you're able to access your entire library, if you're like me, you have a huge library of digital games that you bought throughout the years, and this would be on PlayStation, PC, Nintendo, everywhere, but I'm able to get games. Whenever you have a chance to play them anywhere, every single one you own, it's more valuable. But as of right now, it's kind of limited. A lot of the newer games are play anywhere, and lately I've been enjoying things like Clair Obscura, Atomfall, and games like that. And I'm getting ready to work on Oblivion and Doom. But it sucks. It sucks, right? We've seen this at the beginning. I believe PlayStation, we had the start. I believe here's a little bit of the pricing. Here's some of the history on the initial prices. This is all in yen. I don't know why he didn't give me an American English. But right here, you see PlayStation, they increased prices. And it kind of, like I said, it kind of started out with the $70 games. I believe PlayStation and Take-Two was the ones that started that. Then it just kind of snowballed from there. More people decided to start raising their prices. And once Nintendo was like, hey guys, hold my beer, or hold my Toad beer, or whatever, I'm going to raise the prices too. We're going to have $80 games, which, by the way, I'm part of the problem because I was one of those guys that pre-ordered the Switch 2 Mario Kart bundle. Even though, if you take a look at the Mario Kart bundle, you get Mario Kart for $50, which begs the reason, why is it 80? This is terrible. I don't think I've seen a generation in a long time and that's raised the prices of consoles or games. This is the first time I've seen that, which is really weird. I know we're trying to see, try to find some shining light through this, but there really isn't. Let's take a look at the actual list. So this is some of the stuff that's coming up for Xbox. And by the way, like I said, it's happening everywhere. If you think it's bad now, it's only going to get way worse. Especially, give it a few months. It's going to get way worse before it gets better. And if you're going to start with because of the tariffs, this decision's probably been made a long time ago. It was just waiting for the right opportune time, and with the current financial situation with Microsoft being one of the biggest publishers in the world, well, when you're that big, you're able to do more greedy shit, and it's really scummy. But take a look right here. So we're taking a look at the consoles, and by the way, I feel fortunate that I was able to get mine when it originally came out during COVID. But for people that's coming in, if you was even interested in an Xbox console, this is definitely going to price you out. This sucks. It really sucks, but let's take a look. So, the Series S, for the most part, was supposed to be an entry-level machine. where you can get a low price. It's not as powerful, but they actually changed the price of these, and these got way, way higher. It's no longer as affordable. So you got the 512 gig and 1 terabyte going up $379 and $429. You got the Series X digital and Series X, $549 and $599, and the 2 terabyte special edition, $729 fucking dollars. 729.99. I'm kind of fucking flustered. What the fuck is this? No. Even take a look at right here, the controllers and the headsets. They're even going up in price from $64.99. I didn't even know those 2 different types of. Actually, there's fucking 3. So wait, here we go. We got 2. I'm sorry. So $149.99 and $200 for a fucking Elite controller? I'm sorry, I've had a few of those, and those are absolute garbage. I'm just gonna tell you, they break fucking easily. They're really easily broken. They're just garbage. Like the regular controllers are just fine. I've never really had any problems, but I'll never ever buy an Elite controller. I just won't. I've had too many of them, and they've all broke. This really sucks. This really sucks for somebody that wants to play video games. It's pricing people out of the market. I mean, I'm going to assume like the next big game that comes out from Microsoft, like Xbox, anyways, will be Call of Duty. I'm sure standard price. It's going to be $79.99. You probably wonder why are they doing this in the first place? Whenever you buy these games now, they all have expansion passes, battle passes, microtransaction skins, whatever. You have these big giant editions that everybody's buying with multiple tiers. They don't want just some of your money. They want you all their money. And whenever you hop in, it looks like a fucking mobile game saying, here's these currencies. You have to buy these currencies. And this is not an exclusive to Microsoft. This is everyone. Everyone. But when we take a look right here, again, let's take a look at the Nintendo Switch. Right here, here's $449 for standard, $499 for not standards. Comes with Mario Karts. Which, you know, I'm fine with the price of the console, but not so much on the games. But if you go down here and you take a look, you're taking a look at Mario Kart, $79.99 for Mario Kart, and that's digital. I don't know why we live in a time right now where digital games are $79.99 when there's really nothing to them. It's just a license that you download. Now, I understand, like, raising the price of physical games because, you know, you have all the other shit. They have to go to retailers, they're shipping, you have to make the cases, the cartridges, and all this. But I never understood why digital games are just as pricey as just regular games. Which makes, you know, sales, waiting for sales is good. But with Nintendo, there's never really sales. I mean, if we even go right here, let's say it was Nintendo Switch 2. If I can spell Switch 2, let's see. Let's take a look right here. Maybe it'll show us. So $69.99, $69.99. See, you know, upgrade pack. Yeah, $79.99. $69.99 for Breath of the fucking Wild. $79.99. It's, I mean, like I said, it started. You started to see the beginning of this at the beginning of the generation. Whenever we started seeing $70 games. I believe Activision tried to do this a long time ago, and there was a lot of pushback. But, you know, I'm taking a look at this. I'm like, how is somebody going to be able to buy games now and enjoy them? Especially, you know, if you're on a budget. Now, I understand, like I said, I see subscription services just fine. I'm actually for those. And I don't know why the fucking clowns would say, like, owning your games is better than whatever. That's fine if you want to own them. But if you're signing up for these services to begin with, you probably didn't have any interest of buying the game in the first place. And it doesn't matter if you're on PlayStation Plus or Xbox Game Pass or Ubisoft Plus, EA Plus, whatever the fuck they are. You see that shit, people probably didn't want to buy the game, and they was looking for a cheap alternative. But we've had price hikes in these services as well, and it won't be too much longer before these prices of these services become way too expensive, actually making more gamers being unable to actually enjoy their hobby. You know, I got to see this right here, which I think is stupid. And I like, here's the thing, I like Nib, but this is out of touch here. So the PlayStation 5 Pro, yes, it is cheaper currently right now than the Xbox, Galaxy fucking, console. But it's still it's a $700 console. Not mention the fact that you have to buy the disc drive and the stand, and $70 games, and the PlayStation Plus is still way too expensive. It was greedy then, and it's greedy now, even when Microsoft does it. This isn't a one size fits all type of thing. You don't award people for being greedy just because another company is greedy. You got to stamp that shit out. Now, I've seen some people saying things like, "Oh, it's we seen people making fun of PlayStation when they did it, but whenever Xbox does it, no, we was calling them out a long time ago." And that's the thing. Whenever somebody says something good about Xbox, they get called grifters, while they are capping for other corporation. And that's the weird thing about it. You see people like saying that shit about Alex when he says the things he says, like Xfault being one, didn't watch the video, or he would have known what Alex was saying about Microsoft being greedy. They're all fucking greedy. They don't want you. They don't want you to own anything. You see the Ubisoft thing right now, where they're saying you don't own your games. Even on Steam, you get a disclaimer: you just own a license. So this thing about owning your games, this is kind of a bygone era anymore. People say, well, you could buy the disc. Well, the game is usually not on the disc. You have a one-day patch offering gigs and gigs of data you have to install. And without that, you can't really play the game to begin with. And there's some games you can't even play unless you have an online connection. But I don't see how you'd be like, okay, well, the Xbox is more expensive now, so go to the other team, the team that released the overpriced console in the first place. Go ahead and reward them since they're a little bit cheaper. That's not how that works. I don't understand that logic. I'm not. And there's no fucking way you can look at me and be like, you'll buy a PlayStation 5 Pro. No, it's not. It's not that. It's not that. I'm not going to tell you to buy a PC or anything. At this point right now, you're better off going to fucking Cracker Barrel and getting one of those little... You remember the games, like a little triangle thing, and you put the little pins in it and shit like that? Yeah, that's probably a better deal in gaming right now. Everything's expensive. Everything is stupid. And like I said, I'm not going to make this political because I don't think it's completely the tariff thing. There's way more to it. Way more to it than what's going on with that. These companies are fucking greedy. And if you say, hey, reward some other greedy company for being not as greedy, and later on we find out that they're going to be even more greedy, you're just feeding the machine. And like I said, guys like me that buys everything, I'm definitely not helping. But I'm not going to pretend that gaming is a luxury hobby, because you can put as much money or not as much money as you want to put into it. Okay? There's a reason why people buy PCs. There's a reason why people wait for sales. It's because people want cheap entertainment to get out of their current situation. I always use gaming like that. It's a mental health coping thing for me. Like, that's how it is for me. I love gaming. It's always been a part of my life. But I hate seeing the industry crashing down like this. It's like these companies are trying to speed run to a crash. The only saving thing right now is seeing games like Expedition 33 coming out, being $50, being as high quality as it is for $50, and it's not made by a lot of people. Then you have some AAA games coming out that are made by thousands of people. Huge, gigantic budgets of $400 or more million. Or billion, what, a million? I don't know, $1 million. A million, because I'm not mathing right now. But that's not my problem. I didn't ask you to do that. I didn't ask you to spend $400 million on a game that might not get any of its return, and you turn around and take the cost of that and put it on me? Raise the prices because you fucked up as a company? Fuck you, like, for real. Microsoft, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like, you have this thing where you have no choice but to fuck up. The whole gaming industry, we're seeing all these layoffs the last few years. I think even since like 2020, thousands of people, tons of studios, a lot of games brought offline. And you're asking us to pay more? What are we doing? What are we doing? It's fucking terrible. It's really fucking terrible. And if you think this is going to fix things by raising the price even more, I have, I don't know. I've got bad news for you. I really have bad news for you. If you think this is going to help your case, maybe this is a way to push more people into Game Pass. Maybe. I doubt it, because we're going to see the rise of Game Pass coming. But for these fucking retards to come out and say things like, well, owning your game is better than renting, when the fact is, again, most people that are signing up for these things are using this to play games cheaply. They're trying to save money. They didn't want to own the game in the first place. Me, I subscribe to both. I subscribe to PlayStation Plus, Nintendo, whatever, and I play these games as a supplement. And I buy my games because I do. Again, I like to own my games, but if you're in the digital future, you don't really own shit. You really don't. You really don't. And for somebody to gaslight you to say otherwise, don't fucking listen to them, because they're too busy sucking on corporate dick to the point where, I better not. I was going to get in trouble. They're just sucking corporate dick. I don't want to get too graphic, okay? I don't want the label on me. But it sucks. It sucks. PlayStation's not in a good spot. Xbox is not in a good spot. Nintendo's not in a good spot. The whole industry is not in a good spot. Doesn't matter if one decides to be a little bit cheaper, but they already had, their moments, and there's going to be more moments as time goes on. Like I said, if you think this is bad, wait until later on. So don't listen to some fucking fanboy that's too delusional and doesn't want to call out bad behavior, or to say, hey, you're brokey because you don't want to spend $80 on a game, or if you want to, spend money on a rental service like PlayStation Plus or Game Pass, tell those guys to fuck off. But again, the prices of these services are going to go up, and eventually we're all going to be priced out of gaming. Then it will be a really fucking luxury product. I would say build a PC, but it's not even in a better spot as this. I mean, it's still good to have a PC, and you can still get good deals on parts. But I mean, Nvidia, you see what's going on with GPUs? It's fucking terrible. The cost of a cheap PC anymore is, well, it's not really cheap anymore. And if you're saying console gaming is where it's at, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is anymore. I mean, I don't know how much longer a lot of people that is stuck to a console ecosystem is going to stay there. They might find other hobbies. They might go the pirate route. I mean, if you guys don't want to offer the games that people want, and people will just go ahead and pirate the games, it's going to make things even worse. And more people will lose their jobs because of this. So Xbox fucked up big time. Big time. And they've always been this way. This isn't new. And for people saying that people don't call out Xbox, yes, we do. I always have. So fuck you guys. This is dumb. This is fucking dumb.
Shut the fuck up. You're a fucking cunt. Shut the fuck up. You're a stupid cunt. Suck my dick.